Raven moves into position, but Banshee actually juking around it. Here comes the Raven now, and the one Viking has to try to chase him. All he'll be able to do is get him out of the base command center. 4 Stalife has landed, morphing into an orbital command, and SCV's taking the line. Meanwhile, he's starting to move his army to the front of his base.
Looks like Stalife is continuing to macro up. He has his expansion running beautifully in production. We do see that siege mode is coming up from his opponent. Siege mode for Stalife is also just now getting started. With these 2 barracks going to be able to finish these reactors, he's going to begin enormous marine production. We see the stim upgrade is very near finished. In the Blur camp, looks like Blur got those add-ons very fast, but is kind of low on the unit count.
We got the Banshee going out, continuing to scout. I like that as well. Got to watch out for this Viking Raven combo that is out here in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Siege is about to finish for both players. +1 weapons for Stalife is also on its way. Not really sure what the upgrade path is here for Blur, or even if he has. Yes, he does have the eBay, obviously making turrets, but he is not quite focused on those upgrades yet.
Does look like a little force is moving out right now for Stalife, heading towards the middle. He wants to control his own Xel'Naga Watchtower, but if he could control his opponents, that would be enormous. Blur now adding on a second factory as well. Clearly wants to catch up in that tank production, but this is going to be an absolute nightmare. Oh no, Stalife does have control of the Watchtower. Looks like he's not going to go for that, though. He's going to do a side push into the main.
Ooh, I like this. Going to pick up and ferry a few units here to the cliff. He's also going to siege up there. He's got great vision, and this is difficult to stop because of those siege tanks. 1 reactor goes down. Working on the tech lab now. In come the Banshees from the back. Medevac doing a good job on the healing. Moving in.
No cloak for Blur. He loses 1 Banshee. Doesn't lose the second one, but is trying to pull back, trying to get in some comfortable position. Hasn't moved the tanks at the front side, but Stalife is doing an amazing job pressing forward. It looks like he's going to try to auto-turret to force these guys back, but no! It doesn't quite end up working. Blur throws down his own auto-turret, but Stalife's 2 auto-turrets end up getting put down a lot sooner, do a lot more damage, and it looks like Stalife's main push is healthy.
Yeah, Blur is not in the best position. Only 2 tanks, 2 Vikings, and 7 Marines to support what he's got going on right now. Plus Stalife just with this great little contain outside the edge, and this Raven is about ready to go down. So finally we do see him taken out, but he'll have to move all his production buildings over, and obviously not producing out of them in that amount of time. He's also expanded in the northeast position. A lot of SCVs transferring over there now. So I feel like Stalife has certainly not only gained the advantage, but knows that he's probably in a winning mode here.
I love it when players don't just gain an advantage, but they extend that advantage. This pressure is marvelous job by Stalife, but then taking this expo at the right, so good at planting down a turret just in case, and again, controlling your opponent's Xel'Naga Watchtower is just crushing.
Oh, huge as the Banshee comes in. He's going to get to work on these siege tanks completely undefended. Nothing he can do there. Has to force another scan, and while he's taking care of this, in comes another force, going to stim up, take out these siege tanks in the front, and that actually might have been really good for Blur. He had good timing on that. However, siege tanks up front as well, and once again that cloaked Banshee, it does go down, but look at what is left. A couple of tanks here, and just a few units.
This is exactly what Blur wanted. He wants his opponent to throw away an excess force at the front. Blur now trying to squeeze forward, but keep in mind with that high ground, you can actually hit these tanks and not have them hit you back. You need vision of the opponent. Looks like Blur's just advancing forward with a suicide marauder, trying to take it out, succeeds in doing so, but still that expo for Stalife is looking very helpful.
Yeah, and another drop in the base. Here come a few more Marines with the medevac. They're trying to take out the starport, and he has to lift, and what a shame. I think he was making another Banshee to try to take out these tanks in the back, but he's going to go ahead and siege up. 1 tank does go down, knows not to advance forward because there is some siege tanks down there. He'll just go ahead and take place. He must not have vision over there. Those Marines are a little safe. They're right on the edge. Meanwhile, another force moving out here in the front base of Blur.
Man, Stalife macroing so well, getting yet another reactor barracks. These tanks and Marines still being so pesky, and there's the push at the front now. Could even scoot some guys up to the high ground, Blur, has these tanks still left in the main. Stalife scoots forward. Oh, Siege is at the worst time possible, and it looks like once a scan goes down on that, he can possibly kill off that tank for free. There goes the free kill on the tank. Medevac falls, but at the front, Stalife swinging in with a giant Marine Marauder force, picking off the tanks, the turrets, and the orbital command. 1 base versus 3 base, very hard to come back from.
You know, at first I thought leaving those tanks back there by Stalife was going to be a mistake when he didn't quite bust through on that attack while the expansion was up. But now that I see him able to work both of these areas, really mixed up the army of Blur, and I feel like Blur is just trying to hold on right now, figuring out how he's going to be able to combat or counterattack off this. The thing is you just look at the economy right now, unit 77 SCVs, 49 SCVs for Blur, so a huge advantage here by Stalife, as you mentioned, really creating an advantage and then building off of it, and certainly it's just a matter before it's GG.
And there, killing off his opponent's supply depots. Very, very nice play. Looks like battlecruisers coming up from Blur. It might seem like a silly decision, but honestly, when you are pinched back this far and your opponent has a lot of Marines and Marauders and tanks, can be the easiest thing ever. Blur requires more minerals because he literally has almost none in the main. Always fun to see a player in a lighthearted mood on the brink of annihilation.
I'm guessing that is actually his nice way of also saying GG at this point. He knows that he's several bases down against his opponent here, and all he's got is this nice giant blob of an army right here. This contain is working great. Right now, Blur cannot expand. And what's going on over here? A ton of starports coming out. So Stalife is like, word, let's just take it to the end. Fusion core. So, yeah, forcing the late game here, but I think you can just kind of go in and finish it.
There's a very nice scan by Stalife just to check what was up. Happened at the perfect time while he pinched off all those forces. And there is a battlecruiser out, ladies and gentlemen. Battlecruiser is going to be very, very nice for clearing out this front area. Let's see if Blur can actually advance to the edge of his own base and bust out. There's another rescan. Looks like Blur's own units are pushing them towards these tanks. A lot of Marines falling right here. If this tank is going to fall, the battlecruiser might be able to do a little bit of damage, but we see Stalife producing so many Vikings on his own.
I don't understand why he didn't just send his battlecruiser out there.
I do not either.
Okay. He lost an incredible amount of units. He did the siege tanks were there, yeah. So I feel like if he could have just cleared out the siege tanks.
Oh, there's the GG. Blur having, again, a little bit longer of a game, but not playing nearly as well as he did in that first one.
Yeah, so we are tied 1 game apiece now in this best of 5 of semifinal number 1 between a Terran and another Terran, Blur and Stalife.